I am the internet and I like it when KSSU is on me.
Welcome, Matt Tex Show, minus Tex Show. Today is a special day for the show, for me, for my listeners. Today is the completely vinyl episode. Just now you probably heard some weird skitter-scattering. That's because I touched something I shouldn't have. But, first vinyl of my life playing on the air, so we'll see how it goes. I got a good amount of vinyls lined up, some old ones, some new ones, some in-betweens, some really good ones. That was Arctic Monkeys with Are You Mine. That was an exclusive little 45 that was only out for Record Store Day, which happened last year, happens about every year. This year it'll be on April 20th, so coming up pretty soon. Where a bunch of artists release some exclusive stuff that you can only buy in stores, at record stores, just to keep that sort of genre running. April 20th, Dimples always does it every year. If you want to find a record store near you, go to recordstoreday.com, and you can search with your zip code and find out what's coming up or what artists are releasing some stuff and some unheard tracks and all that stuff. It's really cool. There's usually a big line. You run in there and people grab all the one or two item things, and you get a free tote bag that has a bunch of free stuff, which I got. It was cool. So support your record store. April 20th. Actually, on April 20th, there's a concert going on at Ace of Spades downtown in Sacramento. The Fowls, however you want to say it, will be there. I'm hoping to go there. Haven't bought tickets yet, but I do love them, and I hope to go see them. Maybe with Trevor, executive producer. So we'll go through today. It's actually spring break today, starting for a lot of campuses and schools around the area, which is weird. Sac State usually has a weird spring break schedule. Usually the junior colleges have their own week, and then we have ours, and then UC Davis has. But they all seem to be linked up together, which is good or bad. I don't know. But I came in today just to do my show. I was actually planning on having an executive producer come in, Trevor, who's been on the show once, I think actually last year at spring break as well. But his job is really, really busy today, so couldn't make it. So I'll do it by myself. I also invited Tex, but because he's so lazy, he decided not to come. But I'm actually going to hang out with him afterwards and get some dinner. But we'll go through today, play some more vinyls. Right now, the next one, greatest rock and roll band of all time, Led Zeppelin. This album is called Houses of the Holy. My collection is building on Led Zeppelin albums. I don't have all of them. I still need Led Zeppelin 4, Physical Graffiti. I need a couple more. It's hard to find them. They don't re-release them. They don't remaster them usually. And if they do, they're one big set that costs $300,000. So I go to Dimples every so often. There's a place downtown that has vinyls, and I try and search through there and get some good ones. But I'm still building on it. Houses of Holy, though, I do have, and I'll play a song off it right now called The Crunge. We'll play that, come back, talk about some more stuff, play some more vinyls, and we'll be on our way. As far as I know, that album, or the vinyl that I have, is an official first release, 1973, Houses of the Holy. So it is crisp, it is old, but I love it. Not too many scratches. The first track has a nice scratch that sometimes skips it, but the rest of the album is pretty good. A little flimsy, but that's the beauty of vinyls. I'm going to stick to one. We have two turntables in the studio. One, the first song I played, for some reason was only playing in the left ear. And I don't want to have that. So what I'm going to do is play it on turntable 1. So I'll have to transition, so you don't mind. I'm going to put the other turntable on now. What I'll talk about, though, is actually this album is probably one of my favorite vinyls to play at home. It's from Radiohead. The album's called In Rainbows. I've heard a couple of the songs that were on there. Actually, maybe one or two. Jigsaw and Weird Fishes. And I didn't know. I knew some Radiohead songs, but not a lot from them, and especially not a lot off this album. But when I bought this, and I started playing it a lot and a lot. I fell in love. It's probably my favorite album to play when I'm at home, doing homework, relaxing, cleaning the bathroom, doing something. I really, really love it. Putting on the turntable now. Track 1 off this album is called 15 Steps. I sound far away because I am. But literally every one of these songs, they fit together because I go through and I play the entire album fully, and it's just an experience, and I love it. So this is Radiohead's album In Rainbows. The song is called 15 Steps here on the Matt Tex Show. Come back, we'll talk about an album that is, I think, I gotta look it up, but top 10, I think, best-selling records or albums or CDs of all time, from one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time. We'll play that, but right now we'll play Radiohead, a very cool, very hip song. Starting the vinyl up now. Do you hear it? There we go. Matt Tex Show. Radiohead, 15 Steps off their album In Rainbows. That was, of course, on vinyl. Today on the Matt Tex Show, it's vinyl day, completely filled with crispy vinyls. That one was actually re-released, so not too crispy, and pretty good condition on that. Bought it at, of all places, Urban Outfitters. They actually, that's kind of where my sort of appeal to vinyl started. In Urban Outfitters, they have a little area where they just have some new albums. 2 or 3 of the albums I have here I got from some Urban. This one included. Basically, I saw that. I remember in the garage, my parents had a turntable, just sitting there, gathering dust. Didn't know really what it was, wasn't really into it. For some reason, I kind of just started getting into it, and now I have a pretty good collection of vinyls. My parents had a big collection of vinyls as well, so I just pulled from them. My mom had the Beatles' White Album, the original. My dad, Eagle. We had a bunch of Eagles ones. No Led Zeppelin, except for actually a little 45, which my mom says they played at their wedding. Actually, I didn't bring that, but I played another Led Zeppelin album. So just a good amount of vinyl collection, and then I'm going to Dimples and Urban Outfitters and buying some stuff right here. The next album I will play, though, I have a lot to talk about. Yesterday, March 24th, was the 40th anniversary to the date of the original release of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, or The Dark Side of the Moon. An iconic album for any rock fan. Even if you don't like Pink Floyd, you know the album cover. It's got the prism with the light coming in from the left and the rainbow coming from the outside, from the right side. Very iconic. You instantly know, or you recognize that album cover if you see it. You might not know the band or anything like that, but you know the album cover. But it is a very, very popular album since its release, and from some Wikipedia source I found, since 1998, or as of 1998, this album went 15 times platinum, which means it sold 15 million copies, which is an astonishing number, and that was only in the U.S. And that was it was weird how they broke it down. I don't know if it was 2 labels that released it or what, but it looked like there was 2 labels there. One hit 15 times platinum, one hit 9 million copies. In the UK, it hit 9 million copies. In France, it hit over 1 million. In Germany, it hit over 1 million. And then in a bunch of other random countries, it hit 100,000. So it's sold quite a bit of vinyls or CDs or tapes or 8 tracks, whatever medium. It sold a ton amount. I actually have when I got my pickup from my uncle, had a cassette player in there. I didn't have any cassettes, so I ran through and looked through my dad's collection, and one of them was Dark Side of the Moon, so I played that all the time. It was fun. Terrible quality, but it was fun. And so what I'm going to play for you is this track from Dark Side of the Moon for the 40th anniversary. Time, one of their most famous songs off this album, as well as Money, but Money has a curse word in it, so I couldn't play that. But we'll play this just as good. And there's a cool little, I don't know what you want to call it, but Trevor and his parents, or his dad, actually showed me this, and it was mind-blowing, and there's still skepticism, or if it happened, if they did it on purpose or not, but we'll talk about that as soon as we go with this vinyl. I gotta pick the track, which is difficult. You can't just hit next. You gotta line up and figure out which line it is. Sorry, here we go. All right, now we're online. Track 3, side 1. This is Time off The Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Amazing album, amazing song. Time by Pink Floyd off their probably most famous album, The Dark Side of the Moon. Yesterday was the 40th anniversary of that album, and oh, how beautiful it is. I was talking before I played the song about a little coincidence, you could maybe call it. I don't know what you want to call it. But anyways, there's a rumor that if you play the album, or the CD, or however you want to play it, without breaks in between with songs, or no skipping, or just play the entire album fully, in match with the original release of The Wizard of Oz, the songs apparently match up with the movie. The actions that are done, the camera shots, the angles, what's going on, it looks like it goes exactly with the film. And executive producer Trevor, his father, actually told me about this, so I said I had to see this. So I went over one night and we watched it. And the album itself is shorter than the movie, so it only goes about like halfway into it. But it is strange. There's a lot of similarities in some scenes. In the beginning scene, in the beginning of the album, there's a point where it sounds like almost a helicopter. And in the film, the camera shot is kind of flying above the city or whatever's going on. And so it's sort of helicopter-like, and the things they say when the characters appear, it's been a while since I've seen it, but a lot of the lyrics or the emotions of the album or the songs fit perfectly with the movie. It's very eerie. No one's confirmed. The band itself hasn't confirmed whether or not that is, or maybe I haven't seen it have, but people keep saying that they haven't confirmed it. I think they've denied it, but it seems too perfect. But why they would match it up with The Wizard of Oz, I don't know. But it's very cool if you haven't tried it. And what you do is, in the original, Trevor's parents had a VHS of it. So if you can find I don't know if the DVDs will work too, but what the rule is, you're supposed to play the album, you're supposed to hit play immediately at the second roar of the MGM Lion. When the title comes up and it says MGM, there's a line there, and it roars once, and pauses a little bit, and it roars twice, and as soon as it roars, you hit play, and it's supposed to match up. So, very cool. Give it a try if you haven't done it yet, or look it up on YouTube if they've already matched it up for you or something, but it's pretty cool. Next album was donated to me by my uncle, who's not really my uncle, but I'll call him it. It's my dad's best friend, Uncle Mark. I was there in January in LA, and he had a bunch of vinyls, so I went through and grabbed them, and one of them or two of them were from Boston, which I like some of the songs. I don't know all of them, but this song I do like, and we'll play this. It's Don't Look Back off the album Don't Look Back. The album was released in 1978. I believe this was also purchased around that time. It's pretty good condition, actually. He said he didn't really play them. He kind of just got them, played them a little bit for a year or two, and they kind of just sat around. So he also gave me Michael Jackson's Thriller, and I believe the original copy, and it's pretty good condition. I haven't played it yet. It's still sitting in my collection, but that could be a collectible someday. Anyways, this is Boston. Don't Look Back. Matt Tex Show, the complete vinyl episode. Come back. We'll talk about a show that I'm really excited is coming back, and a show that's leaving. Not for long, but for a season break. But Don't Look Back. You hear that crisp? There we go. That's just iconic.
Do you need to get out of a speeding ticket?
Nope. Welcome back, Matt and Tex Show. That was our commercial break. This is, if you're just tuning in, the complete vinyl episode where I'm playing only vinyls that I own, and no others. I don't know why I said that. But today we've been playing some great music, and I got some more great music lined up. This next album is an album I bought for my sister, who really loves this band. She doesn't often use it because she doesn't have a turntable, so she'll have to use mine. So I borrowed it. She's out of town, so she won't care. But a very popular album, just indeed. It's actually their first album, and it hit 5 times platinum. As far as the sticker on the bag here says, released in 1975. This is Fleetwood Mac's first album. Fleetwood Mac, The song itself is Rhiannon, I don't know. It's a name. Anyways, we'll play this, come back, talk about a show that I'm really, really excited about. Tex hates it, but all of his friends, and I included, love it, so he's trying to get into it, but we'll talk about it later. Anyways, Fleetwood Mac's Rhiannon, live on the Case Is You, Matt Tex Show. Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, off their album Fleetwood Mac. This is the Matt Tex Show if you're just tuning in. Earlier I talked about a show that I'm really excited about and a show that Tex hates, and that show is Game of Thrones. An HBO series. It's in its third season now. It was on a break for, I think, almost a year. I was late into it. I started watching it about last summer. It's people were really, really talking about it. People were loving it. It's originally books by J.R.R. Tolkien, who did The Hobbit. I hope that's right. God, I hope that's right. And I guess he did these books called The Game of Thrones. And HBO took it on, and now there's a series. There's many books. We're only in the third season. I think it can go as far as 8 or 9 seasons if it follows the books. As far as I know from a friend of mine who's read it, Alex, he says it's following the books pretty well. And he says if it keeps following the books just as well, this next season will be, he said, bad. But bad in a way that I don't know. I don't know what he means by that, but we'll see. I haven't read them, and I don't plan on it. I've heard they're a real trip to read, the way he writes them, and they're really long, and I don't read. Anyways, but that'll happen. The third season starts March 31st, so 6 days from now on HBO. God, if you don't have HBO, that's a good reason to get it. Tex he watched a couple episodes, and he was just really bored. There's nothing about the show that really got his attention. I don't really know why. Me, myself, and Alex, who we play Xbox with, who lives in Oregon now, but is actually in town for the week. He loves the show as well, so we always tell him, Tex, we don't know why you hate it so much, but so he's going to keep trying it again. He's going to try again and give it a couple more episodes and see if he connects, but I can understand what we're talking about. The first episode is a little slow until the very end. Then it's like, what? That just happened? Then the second episode, so you kind of get into it. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of locations. There's a lot of families and clans and kingdoms, and there's a lot to take in. And I couldn't tell you names, and I'm getting there, but I should probably refresh before I see season 3. But there's a lot going on, so it's hard to take in. So it's hard to kind of get involved in the characters immediately. But I do love the show, and everyone seems to love it as well. So season 3, just a couple days, March 31st on HBO. I'll be watching it, and I'll probably be talking about it. This next album I'll play is an iconic guitar player and rock and roll legend, Jimi Hendrix, in his band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. This album, like the other ones that I've talked about, I purchased this one at Urban Outfitters as well. They just have some random albums. This is a remastered edition, 2010, but the album originally came out in the 60s or 70s or 67. There we go. It's good that copyright information is in the book. But this song I didn't really know until I played this album, and now it's probably one of my favorite songs by him. Or the band. So the song's called Manic Depression. We'll play that, come back, we'll play some more vinyls, talk about more shows and some more concerts, and that I'm getting in shape now. The show's almost over, but we'll keep going through, or maybe we can go a little longer because no one else is here. But Matt Tex, so Manic Depression, I experienced the album by the Jimi Hendrix Experience.